you want to speak Czech like Czechs pour beer. Like it's fluid, it's golden, it's this nice feeling. But the moment when you are in a conversation with a Czech person, your brain goes like freeze, panic, 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 and you are not able to reply even though you know what you want to say. This is a second episode of Speak Czech in Real Life series, and I'm gonna tell you why you are freezing, and together we are gonna help your nervous system calm down and make your conversations feel safe again. I'm Eliška, I'm Slowczech founder and leader, and with over 20 fabulous Slowczech tutors and with immersion program participants, we are helping you to finally speak, to use Czech instead of just studying it and learning it and drilling it and feeling horrible about that. So today I am gonna explain or give you a, let's say, unfreeze toolkit that you can also find in details in the free Real Czech Starter Kit audio course that you will find on the website slowczech.com/kit. So this part, the unfreeze toolkit, is really important kit or part of your learning that you really have to start using if you want to connect with Czech people, if you want to belong in Czech conversations. And besides, so I will mention it today briefly, I will give you also obviously everything I can, but you will find longer explanation in the free Real Czech Starter Kit. And I have two short mini stories for you. So I will start, however, with why you are freezing. Why does it happen? So when you are in that conversation, it's not that your brain is thinking like, okay, so which case should I use? Which words can I put here? Because you know it. You know the grammar, you know the words. It's stored somewhere here. But your brain thinks like, oh, it's danger. And he panics. And what happens is that your amygdala, so the threat center, is being activated, is now on, which will shut down the prefrontal cortex, this part of the brain that is responsible for the critical thinking, this part of the brain that has access to your words and everything you have learned in Czech so far. So, for your brain, for your nervous system, the conversation is danger. It's not safe. And there's the tiger attacking you, okay? So the problem is just, it's not even a problem. You or we should thank our brain that it wants to protect us. However, it's it's a social danger. So your brain thinks like, will they judge me again? Will I embarrass myself again? What if they think I'm stupid? And the social threat is like the tiger threat, is the same for our brain. So the good news is that the reason why you freeze, it's just human, it's your body, it's normal. And we should be grateful that our body works the way it is, right? So please do think about that. But let me start with these two stories to connect you with what you can actually do, because we don't want to just stay here like, okay, it's my body protecting me. No, you want to speak, you want to react, right? So I remember, I think it was the first immersion program, Claire, she wrote or shared a small win in our immersion program platform, and she has written amazing thing that it just fills my heart with gratitude, with joy. Because this is the reason why I am talking, why I'm changing the way the world is learning languages. So she wrote, I was in my boyfriend's parents' house, and after we came back home, he asked me how I feel. And I said that I still feel like I have many vocabulary that I need to work on, but he also said, however, I felt I don't need to translate that much as before. because she was able to finally react, to get into conversations with her in-laws. This is huge. She stopped freezing, she stopped contracting, she stopped like, I know it, but I am not able to reply. She opened herself up. Oh, so wonderful. And the second story is a story of Sheena, who at the playground, she heard like, oh, máte krásného psa, right? And she knows like, mám psa, jmenuje se Max, blah, blah, blah. But in that very moment, her brain sees it like, a stranger, a Czech person, speaking fast, alert, danger. So normally she's not able to reply, right? But she uses the unfreeze toolkit, or the way how to unfreeze. And eventually she's able to say, oh, děkuju, jmenuje se Max, because she relaxed. And this is number one, if I now go to the three-step strategy toolkit, call it however you want to, three-step strategy how to unfreeze. So if you are in that conversation with a stranger firing a question on you that you didn't even expect, or you are at in-laws or colleagues, family, friends, neighbors, what you need first is to show your brain that you are safe, okay? To show your nervous system, to show your body that it's safe to be here, because you want to access the words and the grammar. You want to shut down the threat center, right? So how you do it? You do it with the body and with words. With the body, you do like put down your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and maybe you can move a little bit, like relax. You need to, this is what I do with kids a lot. Because my brain sees my kids as a threat. I have demand avoidance problem, and I just need to be constantly telling my brain, hey, it's safe here. So the same you do within that very conversation. And then what you do, you buy time. You can say, for example, moment, or you do víš co, or hele, or maybe the best one that Czechs use. So you are buying time and you are relaxing your body. And by the way, you do this in your native language too. You have like or some way of buying time to be able to reply. And you are unfreezing in this moment because you want to stay in the conversation, right? So this is step number one, you buy time and relax your body. Step number two, you use a safe default. And there are a few ways how to think about this. You can either say, so how was your weekend? And so you start with and then you have short default phrase, default word. For example, v pohodě, or jo, dobrý, or nevím. Something that you can apply anywhere. Because what you want here is you want to keep conversation alive. This is the main role of your default phrase, of your saying something. Because if you stop here, if you start thinking what I can say, the conversation goes on without you. And you want to be included, right? Or the conversation switches to English, which is, again, something you don't want. You want to stay in Czech and you want to be there to connect with people, to have stories to share, to inspire them, to get inspired, right? So you need to keep conversation alive by adding a word or two. So jo, dobrý, asi jo, nevím, jasně, možná, hele, víš co, nevím, o momentíček, the same as I mentioned. And it will buy you again some seconds after your nervous system and your brain already knows that it's safe to stay in check. And step number 3, you then either, another 2 ways, you either admit, you open yourself up, you admit like, promiň, nerozumím, řekni mi to ještě jednou. Or this can be your default phrase even if you are already in that stage that you are able to say it. But always think about your brain and calming your body and saying your brain it's safe. This is the crucial step in here. And second way how you can react, or maybe third, yeah. Let's say you have 3 options here. I'm so excited that I'm just mixing everything up here. So when you have told your nervous system it's okay, you have bought the time, then you can either just admit you don't understand, you can flip the conversation back, you can say a ty, so dobrý, a ty, so 1, 2, 3 steps. Or when you are ready, when it's already normal, when you have been enough time in those situations, when it's normal for your brain to be in the Czech conversation in Czech, then you continue with a story or with anything that you want to keep the conversation again alive. So again, just let me sum up. Step number 1, relax the body and buy time. Momentíček, moment, hele, víš co, buying time and calming your nervous system. Step number 2, use a safe default phrase. Jo, dobrý, jasně, nevím, možná, to keep the conversation alive from already safe space, and then continue however you want to, or flip back with the question, and you, and you, and you. Now, what I want to emphasize in this episode is that freezing doesn't mean that you can't speak Czech. As we were discussing at the beginning, freezing means that you are human. But also freezing means that you care. That conversation is important for you because you are scared, and fear means that it's something you want to be in. It's a way to go. You want to go there, but you haven't been there yet, or you haven't been there enough time. So it's new, it's dangerous. That's why you're scared, but you want to be there. So freezing means that you care, and you care enough to stay in Czech. You care enough to have conversation with Czechs and to connect with them, and I find it just amazing. So you can have a simple phrase you can repeat to yourself even if you want to. You can say, I can stay in conversation even if I freeze. I am able, or I speak in Czech conversation even if I freeze, because I care, right? So do not forget about the Real Czech Starter Kit, where we go more in depth, and hopefully see you in the immersion program with small groups speaking about topics that are important and interesting to you, speaking about your real life based on what you want. We can adapt to anything because we are really, really good at this. So see you in the immersion program or in the next episode where we are going to talk about confidence and grammar. I can't wait. So měj se hezky, uč se česky a čau.